Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a review for a brand new series which just aired the other night on MTV. Just actually heard about this one. A few of you guys asked me to go ahead and do a review for it. This will be for the pilot, the first 2 episodes of the series called Chosen. It is the Shannara Chronicles. So this is a new series on MTV, which is based on a series of books by Terry Brooks. I've actually never heard of the series before this. It's a fantasy series. Looks like it's fairly new, fairly hot, and looks like MTV is trying to kind of capitalize on another series that, maybe in some ways could be long-running. It's 10 episodes for the first season. It is called Chronicles, of course. I haven't seen yet on whether or not they have planned for a second season of the series, which... Granted, I mean, the show just aired, so it'd be a little bit, before they will actually, confirm if they're going to do a second season of the show and just how long-running it's going to be. The first 2 episodes directed by Jonathan Liebesman, and the series is produced by Jon Favreau, as well as there's all kinds of other people involved. Of course, Terry Brooks, who originally wrote it as well, too, is involved. And you have a lot of other names here that I'm not privy to, not familiar with. This one's filmed in New Zealand. Okay. So if you're subscribed to my channel, you haven't heard of the series yet, don't worry. I mean, you're probably in the majority at this point because it's a brand new kind of fantasy series that, to be honest, after watching the premiere, this will contain minor spoilers, by the way, if you don't want to know anything about it. We're going to read the description of the premiere, but it's just the premiere, so we just got to see the very first 2 episodes of it in the double premiere. And the response online has been really good for it. Like, people are talking about it, and that's something. If people are really into it, talking about it, think that it has a lot of potential to be a great series up there, like with Game of Thrones, or maybe, I don't know if we want to mention Lord of the Rings. I mean, such an epic series. I don't know if we want to put it anywhere near that kind of fantasy level at this point. But again, I haven't read the original book, so I don't know how epic the story is or anything, and how good it's gonna what to project for it in the future, and how good it could end up being if they do it justice. The fact that it's on MTV does have me a little bit kind of worried about a series like this because, as you can see in the premiere, if you've seen it, if you haven't, you can try to find it online or watch it on MTV when they replay the premiere, as I'm sure they're going to do a lot because they want to get people into the show. You get a little bit of overacting, you get a little bit of kind of there's definitely no swearing, there's definitely no nudity or anything like that, like you would see on Game of Thrones and HBO or anything like that. It's an MTV show, and they don't have many drama series that are long running on MTV. So if that tells you anything, yeah, there's a lot of music all throughout the episodes. The visuals are stunning for it. I mean, it looks like a full blown movie, high budget, that kind of deal. Some of the visuals are beautiful. The environment looks great. The CG is really, really on point, really good. The character designs, I think, are really cool, and it just has this great visual appearance all the way through. I'm surprised. It's filmed in New Zealand, so a lot of the environment will be done by that. But of course, they must put quite a bit into it in terms of a budget to do something that looks visually this good. Even the villain and our main kind of druid hero, Allanon, really cool, really just really cool designs and everything. They obviously put a lot of work into this one, and wanted to make it at least visually look stunning, and it does. It looks visually really, really good. It's got a nice mix. If I compare it to other things out there right now, it's probably closest to something like another fantasy series like Lord of the Rings, for example. But of course, because it's not going to be a movie, it's going to be a TV series. It's its own thing too. You can compare it to other things, but it's got more fantasy elements than something like Game of Thrones, which is very low-key in terms of the magic, low-key in terms of the fantasy elements. They're there, but it's a lot more gritty, and it's a lot more dirty and ugly and bloody, and this one too does have some deaths in it, which is cool to see. It's not like totally MTV to where it's like they're not even going to have character deaths or anything like that. It looks like they are, and that's part of the story. And basically, I'll read the synopsis to give some of you guys who are subscribers to the channel that don't know anything about this, because it's a new series that's coming out, some idea. So this is from the wiki. This is the plot description, the summary. It's a bit lengthy, but let's get through it because it's necessary for us to, to kind of go over it to talk about it. So the description reads, Amberle, a princess of the Elves. Yes, there's Elves, has that kind of deal. There's orcs, kind of, Druid, dark, Druid. It looks like an orc. A villain looks like an orc to me, some kind of dark orc type deal. And there's humans, and so there's different races in it, fantasy. Runs in a race, which reminded me a little bit of the Hunger Games type of deal. You'll get there in a minute. Runs in a race normally reserved for males as a right to determine which 7 become the chosen. Servants of the Ellcrys, which is a great tree which holds back an ancient army of demons in a realm called the Forbidding. So see, very, very fantasy-based, according to legend. She is the last to cross, becoming one of the 7. When she touches the tree, she has a vision of elves being slaughtered and passes out. Next, the Druid Allanon wakes up, and he is our main badass, I want to say, of the show, and he's really cool from what you can see so far. We haven't seen him do too much fighting as of yet, but we get the idea. He's got the experience. He's kind of a war-torn type of character. He's had a long fighting career, I guess, and he knows his stuff, and he seems to be tough as nails. And anybody who knows who he is, knows to at least respect and in some ways, treat him with the utmost respect, almost fear him. Wakes up from a long slumber. He's like frozen. Wil Ohmsford sees his mother die in front of him, though not before she passes on the Elfstones, a great magical relic that belonged to his dead father. He decides to go to Storlock, the village of healers, in order to learn the healing arts there. On the way, he is ambushed by a troll and saved by the Rover girl Eretria, who takes him to a home that is supposedly hers before drugging him and stealing the Elfstones. Allanon meets with the Elven King, Eventine, in the city of Arborlon, and warns him that the Ellcrys is dying. The big tree, the great tree is dying. There's like blood coming out, stuff like this. Reminds me of when I play Warcraft 3. Night Elves, they have these big trees and stuff. When Eventine's son, Arion, protests, Allanon confirms that the legend is true. He then leaves to seek out Wil and finds him at Eretria's house. Elfstone's gone. Meanwhile, so she stole them. Meanwhile, the Dagda Mor breaks free of the Forbidding as the Ellcrys weakens, along with the Changeling, whom he dispatches to eliminate the Chosen, and she, or it, does. At least the main ones that get by, except for the princess Amberle. Last part says, Amberle, haunted by the visions she has from the Ellcrys, runs from Arborlon. She comes across Eretria and steals food and a horse from her. So that's the girl that stole from, Wil. Is it Wil? Yeah. And takes off for the Winghove to meet Eventine's sister. Meanwhile, Allanon takes Wil to the Druid Keeper at Paranor in order to find the secret to restoring the Ellcrys. While there, Allanon proves to Wil that magic did not die out in the War of the Races some 30 years ago previous by using it himself to uncover a codex. The Dagda Mor appears to attack Allanon kind of cerebrally or mentally, sort of like a mental attack, but the attack is only in his mind, and Allanon is made aware of his presence. Allanon and Wil learn that the Chosen are the key to the renewal of the Ellcrys. However, the Changeling, who is, evil it thing that can change forms, a changeling, like can shapeshift, that kind of deal, using Amberle's form, has killed them all. Save Amberle, so she's the last one of these kind of, chosen people that's still alive, who is well away from the city. Allanon and Wil track her to Winghove, where they are attacked by a Fury summoned from the Forbidding. The Fury kills Eventine's sister and turns its attention to Wil and Amberle, and that's it for the premiere. It ends as this giant flying Fury thing is attacking them. So I like the premiere for the most part. There's some scenes, you get a little bit of the overacting, you get MTV. A little bit of that, you get a little bit of kind of the silliness and the romantic stuff, which is a little teenagery for me. But, it's all good. I mean, it's all good. It's part of it. If it's going to be on MTV, you got to kind of expect stuff like that. It's just that's the way the network does things. It's not AMC. It's not HBO. It's not going to take it more kind of an adult approach to it. It's kind of more accessible for all ages. So I do see the appeal of this series. I think it's interesting. You have a lot of characters. You have a plethora of interesting characters. You have some interesting dynamics happening. You have kind of that fantasy element. And I do think there is space right now for more fantasy series because Game of Thrones, of course, we're going to be going to season 6, but then there's going to be a 7, and we don't even know for sure if there's going to be a season 8. So it's got a couple seasons left, and it will be ending off, and that's going to leave room for other shows if HBO doesn't continue on further or create some other kind of show to go after it, which they probably will, to be honest. So, in terms of this series, very fantasy-heavy series, it kind of depends if you like the genre or not. If you like fantasy, if you're into that, if you can kind of, use your imagination and get into it, get into the world, I think it is a pretty good series, pretty decent. If I had to score it, I give this one probably a 7.9. Visually amazing, really good. The story is very dense. You have a lot of different things happening, a lot of different characters, getting to know them and their different motivations and everything. And pretty good action for the most part from the premiere with great visuals. Some of the best looking visually scenes I've seen in a TV show in quite a while. Definitely the CG is good. So I'm interested to see what it will look like with the episodes that go through. This is the premiere, so they're trying to get everybody's attention. They're trying to get you to watch it and give it a chance. I definitely have, and I liked it. I thought it was cool. I'm willing to try some more. I'm willing to check out episode 3 when it airs next week. And I'm interested to see how the series is going to go. Is it going to get renewed for a second season? Is it going to be a long-running show? Is it going to end up being something really cool? I think the demons are cool. I like kind of the fantasy element, and there's not too much in terms of media for fantasy stuff. You get the video games, of course, all the time, but after Lord of the Rings and you got Game of Thrones, I can't think of too many other series that are big, that are really popular, that are in the fantasy genre. So this could be one in the future that could become very popular. So, yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on the premiere. I liked it. I wasn't absolutely blown away by it, but as a visual person, I did like it quite a bit, and I think it's got great potential after a premiere to be a great series going forward. So let me know what you guys thought if you got a chance to check out the Chronicles of Shannara, what you think about it, what you think about the future for it, and whether or not you think it'll get a second season. I think it probably will from the response I've seen so far, as long as the rest of Season 1 is as good as the premiere. If the rest of Season 1 is as good as the premiere, the response online has been good, so it'll probably get a second season. But we'll see. It's kind of hard to tell. You never know what MTV is going to do. So let me know what you guys thought if you got a chance to watch it right in the comments below. If you like this review, you can thumb it up below, and you can also share if you want. You can favorite at the bottom left. And if you want to see more from me, you want to see reviews for The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, all these other series we've been talking about, all kinds of awesome stuff. And I do listen to you. I kind of do what reviews you guys want me to do. If you want me to review a new series, I'll review a new series. Up to you. So just let me know what you want to see, and subscribe if you're new, sub at the bottom left. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you again real soon, probably tomorrow. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace.